Have you ever noticed that sometimes the very thing you've forgotten was the one thing your unconscious always remembered? That you begin to forget to remember where your old doubts once lived. Perhaps your deeper mind can begin even now to remember to forget what once blocked your flow. Because you're not broken, you're becoming. You're learning, like a river learns the shape of stone, not by pushing harder, but by flowing smarter. There was a composer once who thought he was chasing inspiration. He walked miles, waited days, until he sat still, and noticed that inspiration wasn't a lightning bolt. It was a current inside him, waiting to be plugged in. Like you, because inspiration doesn't visit, it awakens, when belief becomes breath. And another time, a writer told himself he didn't know what to write. What he didn't know he knew was that not knowing was just the space where brilliance echoed before it had a name. So he picked up the pen, and the pen picked up him. And that's when the melody began to write itself. So what would happen now if you stopped waiting to feel inspired and started realizing you already are? Because right now, somewhere deeper than thought, you might notice how beliefs bend beneath attention. And attention, well, attention is creative fire. Focus it and the world forms. Withdraw it and the illusion fades. So to imagine a new belief system installing right here in the background of your mind, you may notice or not how what was once effort is now automatic. Imagine now a spiral staircase made out of sound. Each step a new certainty. One step says creativity is infinite. Another step sings failure is just feedback's first name. As you descend, you ascend into a version of yourself that always knew. Music was simply the emotion made audible. And beliefs are just the operating system your thoughts are running on. Time for an upgrade, don't you think? Because it's not if these truths land, it's how many ways they find you. You're not a person trying to become creative. Your creativity trying to remember you're a person. Your voice is valuable because it's yours, not in spite of your uniqueness, but because of it. So say it, sing it, whisper it if you must, but express it, because emotion, unexpressed, stagnates, but emotion transformed, that's art. So let me tell you a secret. Success doesn't come to those who deserve it. It comes to those who embody it, before the world agrees. So right now, before the evidence arrives, before the applause, before the charts and the fans and the validation, let yourself believe. Because belief precedes behaviour, and behaviour, well, that becomes your art. And speaking of art, do you know some of the great creators? They weren't the most talented. They were the most consistent. They anchored their muse to a mug of coffee, a walk at dusk, a string of notes hummed while washing dishes. And every repetition was a signal to the unconscious. Now we create. So what anchors have you yet to discover that say to your brain, let's begin? Because now you're building rituals that build your reality. And the more you repeat what inspires you, the more your unconscious repeats. This is who I am. Persistence, that's just belief in motion. Discipline, that's just self-love scheduled. Flow. So what happens when belief, action and intention all say yes at the same time? Now here's a paradox. The more you chase perfection, the more you miss the beauty of the present. The more you show up playfully, consistently, joyfully, the more mastery sneaks in through the side door. Because mastery doesn't ask for permission. It arrives quietly, after many nights of just trying. And suddenly you're fluent in genius. You may ask how, but your life is the example. Every time you reframed a failure, you rewired your brain. Every time you danced despite the fear, you whispered to the world, I'm still here, I'm still becoming. So now your unconscious can begin to explore how rapidly it can integrate these truths, that you're enough, because no one else can be you. That emotion is energy in motion, meant to move through music. That the present moment is your power source. Plug in, light up. That creativity is your birthright, not a talent, a truth. The resistance is growth in disguise. Lean in. That feedback is gold, not judgment. Welcome it. That playfulness is power. Take joy seriously. As you forget where you started, you remember what matters. Beliefs. Not just thoughts. They're fuel. They're fire. And they're yours to forge. So now, as your new belief system installed automatically, unconsciously, without effort, without trying, you may begin to wonder, what else is possible when you stop asking for permission and start living the answer? Because the truth was never out there. It was always in you. And now it sings.